Today on Fox 43 Featured, crews in York County are still working to determine what caused a massive fire at a mulch plant in Jackson Township. Plus, we share the story of one young mother in Lebanon County and how she's shining as a beacon of hope through her breast cancer diagnosis. And a York County family welcomes their adopted daughter into their home, the unique story behind how she found her new family. Fox 43 Featured starts right now. Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 Featured. I'm Robert Stover. For the next half hour, we're going to be highlighting some of the top stories of the week in our area. Starting in York County, where crews are still trying to figure out what started a massive fire at a mulch plant in Jackson Township. Crews say the fire spread to some nearby brush and buildings and burned for more than 20 hours. Officials say the fire was contained around 1:30 Monday afternoon, but they were still monitoring hotspots. It was first reported on Sunday afternoon. County officials say the weather was an issue for crews trying to keep the fire in check.
It's windy. The rain kind of helped a little bit, but it hasn't done enough. Crews will continue to shuttle water here in order to keep this at bay and making sure that embers aren't blowing around the neighborhoods and stuff.
In total, more than 200 firefighters came out to help in Jackson Township. And this week, state lawmakers in Harrisburg held a hearing on a proposed bill that would establish new regulations for data centers. House Bill 1834 would create recovery of costs, renewable energy, and energy assistance regulations for data centers. The legislation comes as new data center proposals pop up in municipalities throughout South Central PA. House Democrats say the bill aims to protect people from soaring energy costs tied to these facilities.
All the projections that we see are that people's electric bills are going to keep going up. And I think that that's a real problem that as state lawmakers we have to stay laser focused on addressing.
Leaders with the Data Center Coalition raised concerns about the bill, saying that it could slow future investment due to regulatory uncertainty. Residents and school officials in Susquehanna Township are clashing over a campaign that could help fund a new school. District officials say a new building is needed to eliminate overcrowding, but residents argue the school is getting too involved in its campaign. Fox 43's Sydney Nauman takes us to where the street where this conflict is unfolding and creating division within the community.
A neighborhood divided. On one side of the street, Peter Fricke.
I'm the founder of Susquehanna Taxpayers United, which was formed to oppose the school tax referendum.
And on the other, the Susquehanna Township School District. The debate stems from a tax referendum, which will be on the November ballot for the second time, proposing a change from a flat township tax to an earned income tax. School district officials say the extra money would go towards a new school building to solve overcrowding and accommodate a growing population, stating teachers and students are learning in hallways, storage rooms, and other makeshift spaces because we have simply outgrown our current facilities. But Peter says it's the way the district is advocating for the change that's worrying taxpayers, stating the campaign could be violating state campaign finance law.
Taxpayer money should not be spent on political activity, but they're not allowed to directly advocate for or against a referendum. The words vote yes fall pretty squarely within that definition.
District officials stated district funds were not used to purchase or fund the printing of any campaign yard signs. Instead, the signs totaling nearly $10,000 were privately funded as an in-kind contribution to Advocates for Susquehanna Township Students, a registered committee lawfully established to promote voter education and engagement regarding the referendum. For Peter, it's personal, the debate playing out right in his front yard. So he filed a right-to-know request, gathering documents from the last 2 years about the district's spending on the campaign. Peter received hundreds of documents from the district, and while officials say the campaign materials were privately funded, he says the line between school and state is still blurred.
The designs for the sign were created by a PR firm hired by the district with public money. They were ordered by district employees using district email addresses during business hours. They were picked up by a district van driven by another district employee.
Now he's calling on lawmakers and judicial officials.
It's designed to protect taxpayers, and it feels as though we have a law on the books that nobody is willing to enforce.
Sydney Nauman, Fox 43 News.
The West Shore School District is looking to fill an opening on its school board. The vacancy is due to the sudden departure of Heidi Thomas, former school board president and 2025 policy committee chair. The person appointed will serve the board through November of 2027. It is a pivotal time for the district as policy changes concerning sex-based bathrooms and book restrictions will be decided later in November. Among other qualifications, the district says candidates must have no conflict of interest with the school and should be interested in making a positive impact.
Interest both for the community and for the West Shore School District students as well. An interest in educating our students. The betterment of the district and the betterment of education as a whole would be key.
A parent with 2 children in the district says she was shocked over the resignation and said that the voting of the board is now split down the middle, 4-4. She also said the policy changes the school is deciding over are not what parents like or care about.
It really feels like this is kind of a short-lived distraction, all of these culture war type issues, because what really matters to most people is that their kid gets a high quality education, that their school taxes aren't out of control, that their elected officials are transparent.
The school will be accepting applications for the volunteer position until November 6th. They will be conducting interviews with potential candidates the following week, and they plan to have a decision on the new board member by November 13th. And this week in York County, the principals of Dallastown Area Intermediate School camped out on the roof to recognize their students' fundraising achievement. To motivate the students, the principals issued a challenge that they would spend one night up on the roof if the kids met the goal of $40,000 for the school. Parent-teacher organization, which they accomplished. Students and families drove by the school to wave and cheer on their principals as they commit to their promise.
Our students were 100% bought into this idea, and just seeing their excitement and them being able to be a part of this is something that we're really excited about. It's amazing how excited our kids are. Just today, walking through the halls, they're like, "Are you actually going to sleep on the roof?" And we said, "Absolutely." We show integrity by doing that.
Thrush says the money will help the PTO provide fun activities for the school's Challenge Day, as well as T-shirts that support each student's community colors. There's a renewable energy construction course looking to fill spots in the spring, and with employers desperate to hire, many of them not even waiting for students to graduate before offering them jobs. Fox 43's James Tully went to check it out.
So just heat up from like here to here.
So I put Thaddeus Stevens, I put this program up as like the front of my resume, and that caught their eye, and they brought me in for an interview the following day.
Now, hard to believe, but Sanji Diaz tells me he was recently turned down by a fast food restaurant for a job. And now?
3-4 weeks of me being here, I already landed a job in the solar field, and it's going great.
Sanji is part of this renewable energy construction course offered by Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology in conjunction with Tech Centro Workforce Network. It's the first year for the program. Students mainly learn how to install solar panels. Combination of skills in electricity, mechanics, and roofing.
As long as you're going counterclockwise, you always be good. And once you make the hook, you connect it.
It's absolute job security,
okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, if you work at a solar company for 2 years, every other solar company out there wants to get you.
Instructor Nicholas Tucci says solar energy is undeniable. It will be a vital energy source in the next decade.
I would just work on the other side of this pipe now. Forget about that. We're going to cut that off and throw it away. It needs to be. With how many people we have, how stressed our grids are all the time, distributing power generation it's a win. We need to do it for our society that we live in.
But there are drawbacks. Installation costs for homeowners are pricey. A 30% residential tax credit is going away at the end of the year. That won't help. And while battery backup improvements are coming, it's still lacking. Yet, the carbon footprint with solar is better than almost any other energy source.
There's also going to be a time in like 10, 15 years from now where all of those systems are going to need some sort of maintenance. And we need skilled people in the trades to be able to do that.
People like Sanji, who seemingly found a purpose in his life because of it. You're taking pride in this.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Harnessing the power of the sun, man, like, can't get better than that.
Thaddeus Stevens is recruiting for the next program in February of next year. Tuition costs are around $10,000 with financial assistance and room and board options available as well. James Tully, Fox 43 News.
A Myerstown mom found out she had breast cancer at just 38 years old. Coming up, her powerful message of hope and strength to help others. Well, a young Myerstown mom and kindergarten teacher says her breast cancer diagnosis came as a total shock. In this week's Health Smart Report, Fox 43's Amy Lutz shows us how she's now turning her story into a message of hope.
At just 38 years old, Lindsay Diamond wasn't even old enough for a yearly mammogram. It was a visit to her gynecologist in 2021 that changed everything.
I went and had a routine yearly OB appointment.
Okay.
And my OB found it on a exam that she performed. But it was small enough that I hadn't felt it.
The diagnosis? Invasive ductal carcinoma breast cancer, estrogen and progesterone positive.
I was at school when I found out. It was like 8:30 in the morning and my kids were showing up in 30 minutes.
Lindsay turned to Penn State Health for treatment. And while she says she's grateful she was able to avoid chemo and radiation, her hormone therapy was still life-changing.
At 38, I was forced into menopause. We wanted to have another child at that point, and that was like, nope, sorry, that's not an option. That was disheartening at 38 and going through all of that, you know.
Can I go first? Today, she says her family and even her favorite hockey team helped her push through.
The Hershey Bears coach at the time, Spencer Carberry, he had the team sign a stick and presented to me before my surgery and was like, our whole team is supporting you. I just felt like, reach out to people, they're there for you.
Lindsay is celebrating 5 years as a breast cancer survivor.
Now cancer-free, Lindsay's dropping the puck at a Bears game, a symbol of strength, survival, and hope.
People feel like it's a death sentence sometimes for some of them. I want people to know that there is hope for them. You can continue to live your life. Cancer will always be a part of who I am, but it doesn't have to define me.
Lindsay says she hopes sharing her story reminds women to listen to their bodies and to never underestimate their own strength.
You don't know how strong you are until strong is the only option you have. I'm strong because I have to be. For everybody, including myself.
This year, the overall 5-year relative survival rate for breast cancer is approximately 91%, with rates varying significantly based on the stage at diagnosis. With your Health Smart Report, Amy Lutz, Fox 43 News.
More cancer treatment services will soon be available in Cumberland County. Penn State Health hosted a bell-ringing ceremony celebrating the completion of its cancer center at Hampton Medical Center. Penn State officials say they have combined services from 3 separate locations to streamline care for patients and families.
It really fulfills a promise and a commitment to this community by Penn State Health to give them that kind of quality care that they really need, that they really want, that they've come to expect, especially through Penn State Health.
The center is expected to open to patients on Monday, offering breast surgery, physical and occupational therapy, as well as radiation and medical oncology. Also in Dauphin County, a new initiative to install AEDs in local parks is officially underway. On Tuesday, the Dauphin County AED Project unveiled the first AED at Lincoln's Park in East Hanover Township. The goal is to get AEDs added to every park in the county that has tennis courts, thanks to Huddle for Hearts powered by the Peyton Walker Foundation. County commissioners, township leaders, and other advocates attended the unveiling. The day was especially emotional for the founder of the project, as Lincoln's Park was her first ever coaching location.
One of the things I've noticed over the last 2 years is that a lot of the parks don't have AEDs. So what happens if a kid has a cardiac arrest? A lot of them are exercising, they're running around, and not even just with tennis, but there's basketball courts and softball courts and playgrounds. So it is for coaches and athletes. They can use their platform to raise money and awareness about cardiac arrest and hopefully get some AEDs in where they're coaching or playing.
More AEDs are expected to be installed at neighboring parks over the next few weeks. A York County family welcomes their adopted daughter into their home. The unique story behind how she found her new family coming up. A York County family has officially welcomed home their newest member. Dynasty turned 18 this summer, and her adoption was finalized this week. Fox 43's Kyle Ennis tells us the story of the Youngbloods welcoming Dynasty home with open arms.
Dynasty met the Youngblood family just a few years ago.
It was really hard over the 3 years, just trying to figure out everything.
Dynasty was part of the foster system with Children's Home of York, known as Choi, starting at 15 years old. Originally, she thought it was just going to be spending a bit of time here and there with the Youngbloods.
I was spending weekends with them, and then throughout the end of the 2-year mark, I was like, oh, I actually really like you guys, I suppose. So then I just wanted to move in with them.
The process from foster to adoption took 2 full years, ending on Tuesday morning.
We just knew she was meant to be in our house when she came on respites, so it was kind of nice to finalize everything and make her a permanent part of our family, and we can watch her grow.
The process to adopt is typically grueling, with months of court dates, in-home assessments, and background checks, even before their daughter Dynasty was welcomed home. But this process is something people may only go through 1 or 2 times. Well, unless you're asking Chelsea and John Youngblood.
It's definitely really odd, especially from talking to other people, and they're like, how many siblings do you have? I'm like, oh, where do I start?
The couple has 2 kids of their own and 5 adopted children.
Total, counting outside of the house, we have 22, 18, 12, 10, 9, 6, and 6.
John was adopted as a teen. He knows what it meant to him, and he and his wife want to provide the same thing to children in their ever-growing family.
I mean, hopefully we have more kids that come join our family and we can help them get to whatever their goal is.
Kyle Ennis, Fox 43 News.
The Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources and the Chesapeake Bay Alliance held a tree planting event at Truck Farm in York County. 700 trees were planted for the project, which is part of a larger plan to revitalize the Chesapeake Bay watershed. DCNR says the tree plantings will help reduce runoff pollution and prevent erosion into nearby Muddy Creek, which runs into the Susquehanna River.
This work is so important because the Susquehanna is so important to the health of the Chesapeake Bay watershed. 2/3 of the fresh water that goes into the Chesapeake Bay is from the Susquehanna River. So when we are working upstream to help prevent pollution from where it starts, we're helping local tributaries, our local communities have cleaner water, and we're helping the Chesapeake Bay have cleaner water as well.
The funding for the project came from a $130,000 investment by the Shapiro administration to help with Chesapeake Bay conservation. After the break, redefining pro wrestling. The event featuring some of the best Penn State wrestlers is coming to State College this weekend. What you can expect and how to get tickets. Coming to State College tonight, in a day and age when the words professional wrestling means something entirely scripted, Real American Freestyle is attempting to redefine what you think when you hear that phrase. And as Fox 43's James Tully explains, their show is coming to a place considered a mecca for the sport.
Although other people have tried to launch professional leagues of amateur or freestyle wrestlers, none of them ever really got off the ground, and certainly none of them ever attempted to present wrestling the way we are.
Eric Bischoff of WWE and WCW fame took some time to talk to me about his newest venture, Real American Freestyle, pitting some of the nation's best freestyle wrestlers against each other on a big stage.
So what I'm here to do is essentially take from sports entertainment, which is obviously my background in WCW and WWE, and combine that with the legitimacy of freestyle wrestling.
And they're doing it this Saturday night at the Bryce Jordan Center in State College. A very appropriate place, Eric says, to showcase Real American Freestyle.
You know, Penn State's wrestling program is legendary.
Legendary.
It is storybook in many respects. And there's such a strong base of Penn State wrestling fans there that know these names that are going to be on our card. I mean, we're bringing the elite of the elite.
At the top of that list, Bo Nickel, a 3-time national champion, considered one of the most accomplished Nittany Lion wrestlers of all time.
There it is.
Other Penn State stars from the past will be featured too, but it's not just the men. There are female wrestlers on the roster, which Eric feels will only expand the impact of this event. I mean, outside of the Olympics, we just don't see these wrestlers' stories showcased in the mainstream. And any good promoter will tell you that's the most important part.
Everything is about storytelling. The television, whether it's a drama, whether it's a sitcom, whether it's a documentary, whether it's a TV commercial for a freaking pillow, it's got a beginning and a middle and an end and a call to action.
I have seen that pillow commercial. Well, tickets are still available for Real American Freestyle 2 this Saturday night at the Bryce Jordan Center. And you can also watch the event live on Fox Nation starting at 7.
And tickets are now on sale for the Bright Night Show in York County. This year, over 3 million lights will fill every corner of Wellspan Park with holiday magic. There will also be 3 new illuminated photo opportunities for those who want to capture the moment with friends and family. Admission is $15 for adults, $10 for kids ages 4 to 12, and free for kids under 3 years old. $1 from every ticket sold will benefit Give Local York. And in Dauphin County, a new Chick-fil-A is officially open in Susquehanna Township. The restaurant opened its doors Thursday, and any guest that showed up dressed as a cow got a free entree. That wasn't the only way the team celebrated the grand opening. Company officials said $25,000 would be donated to the Central PA Food Bank. Customers we spoke with say they're just happy to have one close to home.
We went to the Lindell Road one, and then the Jonestown Road one opened. So then we were excited to get a closer drive. We're only like 3 minutes away, so we could walk here.
The new restaurant will be open from 6:30 a.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Monday through Saturday. And that's going to do it for Fox 43 Featured. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Have a good one.